and will run until the 3rd of December. The Father will feature an all-South African star cast headed by acting legend Marius Weyers and is directed by Greg Karvellas. One of the cast members, Nicholas Pauling, joins me from our Seapoint studios to talk more about the award-winning production. Nicholas, thank you very much for joining me here on Morning Live. For a lot of people that will hear about The Father for the very first time, in your words, what is it? What is it about?
It's a play about a man who has a daughter, so he's a father, who suffers from dementia. And it deals with how he deals with that condition and his relationship to the people around him.
Yeah. You know, when you bring an award-winning production like that to South African audiences, is the subject matter so universal that you don't have to bring South African nuances to it, or do you kind of have to tailor to a South African audience?
I think the play is, as you say, universal enough to not to warrant any sort of changes. We haven't. It's sort of originally a French play and translated into English, but we haven't sort of gone with accents or anything. We're all speaking our sort of native accents. And the play is such a sort of human play that it doesn't warrant any sort of adaptation beyond what's on the page.
You're talking about issues around dementia. In our day-to-day existence, it's not something we really talk about. And depending on where you're coming from, which traditions, is something that's completely taboo. A play of this kind of nature, the fact that it's been so incredibly successful, has really done a lot to shine the spotlight on that disease, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really, I mean, it doesn't sort of, within the play, it doesn't isolate exactly what elements of dementia, the specifics of it, but it really kind of highlights the damage that it can do, not only to the individual, but to the people around that person, how they're sort of cared for and looked after, and what that sort of the disease can do to relationships as well as to the individual.
Talk to me about this.
So it's, yeah, as you say, it's...
Yeah, talk to me about the stellar cast that's led by Marius Weyers. I mean, you couldn't ask for a stronger, more gifted cast, could you?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's Marius Weyers, who's just like amazing, and then Anthea Thompson and Brent Palmer, Amy Wilson, Emily Child. It's insane. And then to have Greg directing at the Fugard, it's kind of a wonder, really.
I wanted to ask about the experience of working with Greg, because he is such a methodical person, and the ability to get the best out of people. He's really amazing. He's a sort of really an actor's director, and that's such a sort of cliche, but he's really collaborative and generous, and he does, as you say, kind of, I think, get the best out of his actors. I've known him since drama school, and he's a fine director. I've obviously helped him with his trajectory because I'm a huge hero of his, obviously, and a mentor to him. I want to read a quote for you from the London FT. It says, "The brilliance of Florian Zeller's play, translated from the French by Christopher Hampton, is that it doesn't just show us the impact of dementia, it uses the nature of theatre to put us in the same boat as Andre." Would you say that's the true reflection of the production?
It definitely is. I mean, with Rocco Poole's design and the way that Greg's kind of applied sort of a concept to the text, it definitely is, because it's kind of like a Memento-esque. When I say Memento, like Christopher Nolan's Memento, the way it's not sort of linear in structure, the story. So it kind of, when you're watching it, it kind of sets the audience sort of off kilter, which helps to kind of get the story across and sort of involve them in the feeling of being discombobulated, I think.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us from our Seapoint Studios. That's Nicholas Pauling. You couldn't ask for a better venue. It's the Fugard Studio Theatre, and it runs from the 8th of November until the 3rd of December. It's won a Tony in 2015. It's won loads of awards. It's the Florian Zeller, The Father, which is finally in South Africa. So
yeah, the 8th of October.
Yeah,
the 8th of November, sorry.
Yeah,